What's it like to stay in one of those castles in Ireland? Is it worth the price tag? And what makes it a unique experience and worth doing while you're on the Emerald Isle? That is what we're talking about today on Vacations Live. Join me to learn all about two of the grand dames of Irish castles. We're going 5-star luxury today in beautiful Ireland for an Irish castle experience. Hello, travelers. Welcome. I am Mandy Horn with Global Dream Vacations and the Traveling Compass. Today on Vacations Live, we are talking about Irish castles. And if you've not joined us before, what we do is we are travel agents. I'm a travel agent and a sales manager that handles helping people plan vacations that they have always wanted to take in. Couples, busy families that always wanted to take these trips, always wanted to make these memories, but they never get around to planning or doing it. That is what we do. We help those busy people plan, and this show is all about inspiration for those amazing dream vacations. So today we are looking at Irish castles. Now, if you know anything about Ireland, it is a beautiful location. It is known as the Emerald Isle for a reason, full of absolute tons of green things, just absolutely beautiful, but it's also full of castles, thousands and thousands of castles. And it's one of the highlights of most people's Ireland trip is that they want to make sure that they get to see some of these castles. Now, for those who don't just want to see some ruins or see some different castles, some people really want to stay in an Irish castle. And this is an amazing experience, one we highly recommend as part of your Ireland itineraries, that you actually get to stay in an Irish castle at least overnight. But, if you can stay more, we would highly recommend it because there's plenty to do. So, looking at Irish castles, we're talking 5 things today that you will love about staying in an Irish castle. If you've ever dreamed of going it, put it in the comments below and let us know why you would love to stay in an Irish castle. We would want to know. What is it about Ireland or castles that has you interested? Maybe you're a fan of a certain show or different things, but we'd love to hear from you. So we are looking today at, I said, Irish castles. Let me pull up a map of Ireland. I love my maps here on Vacations Live. So what you're seeing here, I have 2 spots marked, and we're talking about the 2 grand dames of Irish castles, 2 5-star luxury experiences, and one is the southern one here, just north of Limerick, is Dromoland. And this is, again, yes, a 5-star experience. It's a beautiful property. And then farther north, up just northwest of Galway, is going to be Ashford Castle. And these 2 castles are absolutely famous. If you've seen something on castle stays in Ireland, you have probably seen footage from one of these 2 locations because they're really they're well publicized, well known. Like National Geographic recognizes Ashford Castle as a unique place to stay. They're almost synonymous with castle stays because they are so famous. And so we're talking about these 2 properties today. They're so beautiful and they're really well located in Ireland. You can see Dublin is on the east coast of Ireland. That's typically where most international flights fly in, although you can fly into Shannon on the west coast, which does save you, some driving time if you wanted to do that. But most people fly into Dublin, at least do one night there to enjoy it. But both of these hotels are really well located for Irish itineraries in that a lot of people kind of do this circle here on the bottom of Ireland where they want to go see Cork and they want to see Dublin, and then they want to come up and they want to see the Cliffs of Moher, which are all in that west coast area. So you can see so much from both of these locations, which makes it a great base to explore. But I'm telling you, once you're on property, you're not going to want to explore because they're amazing. And we actually tell our clients all the time because they'll try to pack so much into their trip, and we'll tell them, look, you want to make sure that you block space while you're in the castles to just stay at the castle and enjoy it because it is such a cool experience, and you're going to regret if you're just running day trips all day. Make sure you have time in the castle. So we're talking about both of these castles today, and I'll bring up a picture here of Dromoland. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so like I said, this is the Dromoland, and you'll see it's on a low here, and it really just has that look, and we're hundreds of years old. It's really just set on this gorgeous estate hundreds of acres of grounds. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. So let's talk about some things that you might love about staying in one of these Irish castles. Okay. So first things first, okay, when you stay at an Irish castle, you feel like royalty. And that may kind of go without saying. Maybe that's why you really like you would want to stay at an Irish castle. But I think it's different than even what most of our clients expect before they get there. And that is they're excited about the experience. They're like, oh, it would be regal. But you really step back into this historical period. And it's just this submersive experience. It's really different than just popping into a museum or even like a reenactment park. You're almost part of that castle story. As a guest there, the way you're treated, the way that everything surrounds you is cultivated to this castle experience. It really is just, you feel like a king or queen just showing up. And I'm going to bring up some of the pictures of how the furnishings around you, how they decorate really do this. And this is a photo from Ashford. Okay, and you can see just the lushness, the richness of all of the tapestries. This is their oak room. And it's just that you feel like you're walking into another era, and you are absolutely at least a lord or lady, if not king or queen, in this beautiful location. I'll bring up another one here of their rooms. Look at that. This is their Prince of Wales room. And you just really feel from the way everything surrounds you and the way that these castles are set up, that you are part of this castle story, and it's just absolutely beautiful. We really recommend that you love your stay, but on top of that, what makes that happen? It's this picture right here. This is a picture of Ashford's team. This is their staff, and the castle staff are so underrated in one sense on why you feel that way you do. Now, when you walk into one of these luxury properties, like I said, you feel like you're stepping back in time. You're surrounded by this richness, but it's how that staff treats you that makes that experience, that really just puts it over the top, where you feel like you're in this immersive, beautiful castle experience. It's absolutely worth the price tag that goes into it, because it's just this all-encompassing thing. I really can't emphasize that enough. It's like 360 castle. Sometimes people think like, oh, we're going to get this experience or this experience, but it's really the total package in these two locations that just makes it just an incredible experience, especially if you're doing like a romantic celebration. It's really fun. It's so memorable. I do this all the time for honeymoons. We do at least a night in one of these castles, and it's just this brilliant memory. And they always say, we wish we could have spent more time. We just floated through that experience. So you will feel like royalty. Whether you're sitting by a roaring fireplace or you're out golfing, you will feel like royalty when you're on these two properties. Now, next up are the unique activities that you can have on property. Now, sometimes people think like castle might be bored. Am I going to be bored? Like, is this just like sitting around pristine, like nothing to do? No, this is still great for an active traveler, and it's because there is so much to do on these properties. Okay, so you can take a picnic. They'll actually like pack a huge picnic lunch. You can have a picnic out on the grounds. You can explore these local grounds areas. You can go horseback riding, golf, tennis, archery, falconry, whiskey tastings for those of you who are whiskeys, and a lot of really cool fishing experiences with really well-trained guides. Shooting, if you're into clay shooting or want to be introduced to the sport, it's a great place to learn. Cycling throughout the grounds, kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding. There's so many things that you can do on property and really learn something new or try something new. But I mean, like things like falconry aren't things that most people do every day. And so the opportunity to get to do this in this incredible place is really, truly just lovely. I want to show you a video from Dromoland about kind of how those activities feel as you go through their property. very big thank you to our friends at Dromoland that shared that with me to be able to share with you guys. But you see those rich experiences that are available, whether it's the falconry or the archery and the grounds. It's really just, there's so much that you can do. Now that happened to be from Dromoland, but I'm going to bring up a picture here of some fun things from Ashford Castle too as well. Oops, that's a step. Here we go. So this is one of the rooms in Ashford Castle, and this is where you can have afternoon tea, which is absolutely wonderful. One of the things you definitely should do on property. But again, one of these experiences that you'll be busy and there'll be lots to do, and who can't find time to eat cake, right? I mean, yum. And here we have cycling on Ashford's grounds. And this is really just a great way to explore these hundreds of acres of grounds. They all have these beautiful bike trails, and you can ride around and just get to experience the scenery, get out into nature. Ireland is all about being outside and in nature and the beautiful landscapes that it has. And these grounds are immaculate and definitely worth exploring. So many fun things that you can see. And here's another really cool one. This is from Dromoland. And this is their horse and carriage ride. Can you imagine? You're riding in a castle, you're staying in a castle, then you're riding in this carriage and just really experiencing that immersive experience into the past and into elegance. It's so much fun. It's a great way to also explore the property, especially if you're not a bicyclist, but super fun, unique memory to go ahead and cultivate while you're on vacation. And here you saw in the video as well, Dromoland's golf course. It has some fantastic castle views. Have you golfed near a castle? Absolutely. If you're a golfer, you should totally take into consideration doing this while you are on property. Some absolutely fabulous golfing to be had at both castles. And then here are some resident friendlies, and these are fun guys that you can meet at Ashford Castle. This is Cronin and Garvin. So if they are the resident wolfhounds, and it's so fun, you get to meet some of these unique experiences. If you're an animal lover, make sure you meet the hounds while you're in Ashford, or if you are in Dromoland, make sure you meet Mr. Pickle the Owls. And Mr. Pickles here is part of the falconry program at Dromoland, and just a really cool way. And incidentally, this is also, if you happen to be traveling with kids, this is a great way to incorporate kids in the trip in Ireland. They absolutely love meeting the animals wherever they are. So getting to see the falconry trained, or the owls, or meet Mr. Pickles, or meet the hounds is such a cool way to experience the castle life, right? So now there's, like I said, you can feel like royalty when you're on a castle. That's reason one, you'll love staying there. Two, you'll love all the unique activities and the new friends you get to meet in the wolfhounds and the owls and the falcons. But three, you're also going to love their spas. And I know you may be like, castles and spas don't necessarily seem to go together, right? But they do. I'm going to pull up here a photo of Ashford Spa, and you'll see what I mean. You should absolutely make time for the spa while you are here on property at Ashford. Dromoland also has an absolutely gorgeous spa, and it's the best mix of old and new. It's this classic elegance, these beautiful treatments and environment, but with that prestige and the glamour of what you would expect from a castle life. So surprisingly, make sure that one of the things that you do while you're on site is book those spa appointments and get to go, because it's part of that experience of feeling like royalty, but you will absolutely love their spas. And then one thing that sometimes people don't think about when they're looking at a castle stay are making sure that you have time to explore the grounds. That's the fourth thing that you're going to love about Irish Castle is how beautiful their grounds are. Like, here's a photo from Dromoland, these beautiful walled gardens that you can explore. You saw some of the footage, in the video of what it looks like to golf around this place, but those biking trails, the hiking trails, the things around that you can go see and do, you should definitely see the grounds. They're one of the best parts of being there is how beautiful and immaculately kept these grounds are. They often have edible kitchen gardens where they're harvesting for their fine dining restaurants. Sometimes they have little tours of those, or you can see some of the edible things that they do and they grow there. And they're remarkably beautiful gardens. If you're a gardener, it's definitely something you should look at because they really are so, so beautiful. Then lastly, we're going to be talking about some of the unique dining experiences. This is the fifth thing that you're going to love, and this is the Dungeon Bar at Ashford Castle. And I mean, who wouldn't want to go have a drink in the dungeon, right? There are some very unique dining experiences, and that's the fifth thing you're going to love about staying in a beautiful luxury Irish castle is some of these unique experiences, like the dining in the bar, the dungeon bar thing, or I'm going to bring up the wine room here from Ashford. Beautiful, unique location to get to enjoy. Or to do fine dining in the evening. Like here's the fine dining at Dromoland. You feel like you're walking back in time to go have this elegant meal with absolute 5-star service. It's such a special way, especially if you have a special anniversary or birthday or something going on. What a way to celebrate, right? Be absolutely beautiful. And a lot of these rooms do also serve afternoon tea, which you definitely, if you're a sweet lover, want to make room for. But these 5 things, whether you want to feel like royalty, whether you want some truly unique experiences, the breathtaking scenery of the gardens and the estates, or you want to be at the spa, or this rare fine dining experience that you can have, all of these things come together to make Irish Castle is just an amazing place to stay. Now, I would warn you a couple of things that we do tell our clients about Irish Castle, some tips and tricks to help you out. There's often not a huge capacity. These places do book out, so make sure that you book early because over peak seasons and even not peak seasons, they can sell out of rooms. Especially if there's a certain room type that you want. And now it's also really important that some rooms are not located in the castle. So make sure if that's really important to you, you want your room in the castle because there's often other buildings on the ground or other hallways or extensions or corridors. If you want your room in the castle, make sure that that is what in fact you are booking because it can be somewhere else on property and you can be disappointed. And then you'll hear very liberal uses. I showed you 2 of my absolute favorite castles in Ireland today. But you will hear the use of castle fairly liberally in titles and in hotel titles. Like there's hotel castles everywhere in Ireland. I would say that a lot of them are more manor-like than castle-like. And so depending on what you really want, you need to make sure you're picking the right place for the experience you want. And there is a really big difference between a 4-star manor castle experience and a 5-star manor castle experience. There's very few true 5-star castle or manor experiences. And there can be a really big difference, not only between those 2, but within the 4 stars, there's a huge difference in quality, and it can change that experience where you don't necessarily feel like you're really getting that immersive experience into castle life. And so you just really want to make sure that you're looking at the right thing. Just because it has castle in the name does not mean you may love the way it looks. Some of them just kind of look like really big houses, which may be really cool. You may enjoy that, but make sure you know what you're getting and that it may or may not feel like a castle when you get there. And some do have more modern rooms versus more period decorated rooms. So if you prefer to be in a more modern room, you may love some of those other manor homes or experiences where the rooms, feel more like a contemporary hotel, or you may prefer to really be fully immersed in the experience and have those period decorated rooms with 4-poster beds and the lush trim and all these things going on around you. You may prefer that for this kind of experience that you're really trying to have this bucket list stay in an Irish castle. So just make sure that you're thinking about that going into it. Now, if you would like to have your Irish vacation handpicked for you, and like we said, have all of the Irish castles and an entire Irish itinerary put together for you, please make sure that you're contacting us at www.thetravelingcompass.com. That is what we do. We help busy families plan those trips. So make sure you can reach out to me. I'm Mandy Horn. You can reach out at go@thetravelingcompass.com as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that if you've enjoyed this, if you'd like to get all of our exclusive travel content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, or you can also subscribe to our weekly newsletter, which you'll find in the description. Make sure you click and do that. You'll get access to all of our exclusive travel content that comes out in a weekly newsletter. So click and subscribe to get the best of travel. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope that I'll see you soon. Until then, travel smart.